Joe Banglers.
Yeah.
My guy.
A tour.
Yeah, did the tornadoes try to take you guys away, or what? Did them naders try to get to you, man? The naders got to us.
We ain't scared of them naders around here,
Hey. We ain't scared of nothing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, we could see as Americans, man, like, okay, for real, like, when there was a tornado, like, warning, we just walked outside, and all the other neighbors are outside, dude, just, like, looking up, like, we're just watching. Where's that tornado at? I'm looking for it, you know.
Where? What?
It's I got some sort of notification on my TV says to go hide somewhere. I'm outside.
You know what? I read that it was a stunt for the movie Twisters.
That's brilliant marketing, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, it's like what Smile did when they had those people at the baseball games.
Oh yeah, that one. There was another one that they did something like that. What was that? There was another scary movie that had some sort of crazy stunt in a movie theater.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember, but you know, it can't stop us, bro. I mean, like we could be like.
I don't know if it's just an American thing or a Southern thing.
Oh, yeah, you know, that's a good question. I think it's an American thing, because, you know, like, we got news about, like, some sort of, what was that, an asteroid was going to hit Earth, like, you know, next, 50, 100 years, and everyone's just making memes about it, like, this is me when the asteroid comes.
When the asteroid gets here.
Yeah, like, you know, we could be in the middle of tsunamis, and people are like, LOL, tsunami be like, you know?
Which I think they could see, because there's all those other posts where it's like, this is like when there's an actual apocalypse, people are going to be outside recording or live streaming. Like, that's where our society is right now.
It really is. I mean, I don't have any, like, real life skills, you know? Like, I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
start a fire.
No. All I got is posts, man. I can, like, I'm going to just write something about it.
Take a selfie with it.
Yeah. That's my only actual skill is, like, selfies. What can you do? I could design a flyer.
Asteroid coming.
Don't destroy my stuff. Don't destroy Earth. That's where I keep all my stuff.
That's where I keep all my stuff.
Yeah. Is your stuff on Earth too? Question mark. Leave phone number.
Drop comment. Hashtag apocalypse.
Hashtag winter forever.
Winter forever.
Have you watched any of that show, by the way? The what's the show is based on the video game?
Fallout.
Yeah, did you ever play that game and watch the show?
I played the game. I haven't watched the show yet.
I heard the show's good.
I've heard good reviews on it.
Yeah,
I heard it's better than the Halo one. Halo one's kind of Whack
Arnold's, bro.
Whack Arnold's. It was just like marketing. I think it was because of how it is in the game. Because I've played all the Halos.
Yeah.
And the way they do stuff in the show. Because they do have books too, but the books are slightly different. Or there's like a little bit more in-depth stuff. But the main thing is like in the games is that nobody's seen his face. But in the show, he's like just face all the time.
Aw, come on, man. This is I mean, they did it in Mandalorian. They did fine with him keeping a helmet on the entire time.
The main thing. It worked. Like, the only time he took it off is when he was telling Grogu bye, and that was like a big climactic moment.
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
It was a big deal.
It's just like, bro, you could keep the helmet on, and the show will still be great. You don't have to have your face.
Come on now.
Come on, dog.
Nobody needs to see you. Nobody care about you.
It was funny because the actor that was playing Master Chief did make a post about, like, well, if you don't like the show, you don't have to watch it and stuff. And, like, all the Halo fanboys were just like, nobody watches the show because nobody likes it. Like, nobody does.
There's not a lot of video game turned into movies or TV shows.
It's a hard thing to do because it's like a lot of the games are just like
they're too loved.
They're too loved, or there's aspects to them that people love, and when you try to make it a movie, it's like Like some of the only good ones, like Mortal Kombat, the original one.
Yeah. Sonic, remember
Sonic.
Sonic. But they almost messed it up though.
They almost did.
Almost
did. Luckily, the internet came and bullied
bullied
a production company.
When bullying goes well, I'm gonna start.
See, kids, bullying does work.
Yeah, bring it back. Bring it. I think we're on the wrong side of history.
On the wrong side.
What else? I'm trying to think of another video game to movie adaptation. Oh man, Street Fighter.
Street Fighter.
It's so trash.
Classic.
It was so trash.
It's classic trash. It's the Mario Brothers movie.
The old one, the one with Don Leguizamo.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was so bad. Oh, well, no. Wait, Ninja Turtles. That was a cartoon and turned into a video game.
It was comic, turned into cartoon, turned into video game, turned into toy. It was like a whole thing.
Yeah, they did great. I mean, some of them were not good, but like for the most part, pretty good. Yeah, but just video game to like. I watched that Uncharted movie. It wasn't ready, man. It was just not. It was. I played. I don't know if you played any of the Uncharted games.
I think I heard people have saying that when they showed Mark Wahlberg, they're like, "Oh, Wahlberg's gonna be the guy." I was like, "No, Tom Holland's the guy."
No,
I think it was supposed to be like a prequel or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah. It should have been Mark Wahlberg. I watched it and I was kind of like, man, I played all the video games and the games are amazing. And I was like, I was for it. I was like, dude, this game can be a movie. Like when I played it, I was like, this is like a great story and storytelling and all that. Just fell flat, dude.
There was I think it was on YouTube. It was like a series they did with Mortal Kombat. That series was good. Like the production value.
Was that Machinima? Machinima may have done that.
I think so.
It was on
I can't remember
YouTube.
Who it was,
YouTube production.
It was so good. It was like, get these guys to make the movie.
Yeah, talk to those guys. I mean, it's already out there for free.
Yeah.
They're begging, like
this is their resume. They're like, guys, look,
they made it real dark, like it should be, it's just, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you get some of these Japanese producers. I mean, like they're just greenlighting anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right. They're greenlighting anything. They're making everything.
They're making everything.
They're making everything. They're like, we'll make money. Trust us.
Yeah, there's enough people that at least 100 million people will like this.
Yeah.
I don't know. People got to be out there willing to like risk it all or be willing to lose money.
Got to spend money to make money, man.
I ain't doing it though.
Ain't doing it. No.
You want a Street Fighter movie? You want a Street Fighter movie starring Jean-Claude Van Damme as Guile? The guy can't even speak English. That's why people are trigger shy.
They're just like, let's get who's the it factor now. That guy, get that guy.
Get that guy.
I like him, but get that guy.
Can he speak English? Not barely. His name is Arnold. What? Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Put him in there. We'll make him governor one day.
Don't worry, he's fine.
He's fine.
No one will question his accent. Doesn't even matter if he's teaching kindergarten or not. No one will question it. And you know what? It worked. It did work.
It worked.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. That what? I don't know what we're talking about.
All right. Kaiju No.8.
Got it. Hold on. Yeah. Before you start, let me see here. Because I wrote down a synopsis, and my pencil's doing that thing, where...
where you haven't sharpened it?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's my pencil's fault, dude. I don't know why.
The pencil's not writing anymore. What's going on?
I had to write it sideways, and I'm practically just like drawings. They're just drawings. It's only good for shading.
Yeah.
It's only good for shading and sketching. I mean... The big thick shading, that's all I can do. So not good for words. Not good for words. But we'll make it happen.
We'll make it happen. All right. In 3, 2, and what? Hey everybody, welcome back to Anime Need Podcast. It's me, Joined once again with my co-host Al, and we are here to bring you some more anime.
Exquisite anime, may I add?
Exquisite and
Wait,
splendid.
no, yeah, splendid. That was the word that we were
That's
trying to
splendid,
bring back.
yeah.
I mean, I
Splendid.
was trying to make fetch happen, but I think splendid
Splendid.
will
I think
happen
splendid's the one.
first. Yeah, we'll stick with that. Oh, snap.
Oh man. Well, Sal, why don't you tell these people what this podcast is about real quick?
This podcast is about one guy who loves some anime and is teaching another guy who doesn't know anything about anime how to love it. That's me.
How
I'm the
to
noob.
love.
Joe Bangles, use my. Oh, there's a word for it. Give me the word. The weeb,
The
the
we
otaku.
otaku.
See, I'm learning things.
We're getting them
See,
there.
yeah, I'm getting there. I'm sorry, I'm starting to learn to love. You know what I'm saying?
Starting to learn. Everybody learns to love. Mm-hmm.
All right, now you tell us. You tell us what we watching today.
All right. To come back from all the holiday stuff we had, we are kicking in with some monster stuff. Getting started early, guys. Early Halloween present with Kaiju #8.
Yeah, I noticed
Yeah.
a theme. You sent me both of them. I watched them both. I was like, some monsters going on here,
Some
and
monsters.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
A lot. All right.
Oh,
So let me give us a very poorly written synopsis that I won't be able to read.
Go for it.
All right. Kafka Hibino almost abandoned his dream of joining the anti-kaiju defense force. Is it force?
Yeah.
I wrote down this word. It looks like I wrote the word force over team. uh, yes, okay, so that doesn't matter. He now works for the kaiju cleanup, disposing slain kaiju, and is thinking back to his regrets. Dang it, Joey. I almost had this.
Almost had
He's thinking back with regret to the days he spent with his childhood friend Mina and the promise they made to become the coolest defense team ever.
Coolest ever.
That was their promise they made to each other. Like, we're gonna be so cool. It
So
was.
cool.
I don't know if you watched it in the sub. Did they
Yeah.
say cool? They said cool too, right?
Yeah, it's cool.
Like,
We're gonna be
yeah.
cool.
Like they don't even want to be effective.
No,
They just want to be like
we're
cool.
gonna be
Like
cool.
yeah.
Such a
I
kid.
don't care.
Such a kid promise. We
Yeah.
promise each other we're gonna be so cool when we grow up.
Like it'd be like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a
We'll be
firefighter, but I want to be the coolest,
It's
the
firefighter.
coolest fire. I want to wear shades at night while I'm fighting a fire.
Or just like when we get to high school, like middle schoolers going to high school, guys. When we get to high school, we're gonna be so
We're gonna
cool.
be so cool. I
Cool.
mean,
We're gonna be the coolest kids ever.
my pockets. I'm gonna have pockets on the side of
I
my
got
pants.
Yeah, I'm gonna have pockets inside of my pockets, guys.
Yeah, kids are gonna love it. It's gonna be
They're gonna
so
love
cool. Oh man, this show
Oh,
is wild. Yeah, I'm like, oh, monsters. I'm in on it.
it.
It kind of highlights a part of the whole monster like part of the monster story that you never think about.
Yeah, the cleanup part.
The cleanup part.
Part.
I was like,
Everybody always like that's the main thing I got from the show is like, okay, yeah, how would that happen? Because we always see the main part. Okay, the heroes come in to fight the monsters. Monsters
uh-huh.
get destroyed and taken out. All right, cool. But and then it's like, wait, so what happens after that? It's
Yeah, I'm thinking
like
this. I'm
who's
thinking
in
this.
trouble? How are they like? Who's
How they
paying
gonna?
for all this construction to get the rebuilds done?
I
Like,
mean, is there money in this? There's no
yeah,
money in cleaning up monster guts,
yeah.
it just has to get done. You
Just
can't
had to get it.
you can't get to work if there's monster guts like in your way. And we're talking big monster guts. We're talking
Oh
like the size
yeah,
of buildings.
yeah.
I'm not, yeah. I mean, you don't want all
Skyscrapers.
that. I wrote down here. I say you don't want all that perfectly good Godzilla meat to go to
Because
waste. Okay,
okay.
chop
This is
that
how
bad boy up.
this is how every fast food place gets their meat, guys. All these monsters. They
Chop
gotta
it up.
stock up, man.
I mean, you got like tons of perfectly good lizard meat out there.
Man.
Cut up some
Should
of that
be
lizard meat and sell
no
it. You know
meat
what I'm saying?
shortage whatsoever, guys.
Yeah, I mean, you should be there's no shortage of meat out
Yeah,
there. It's all out there. There's spaghetti sauce everywhere.
everywhere.
Oh,
And
dude,
then
I
I
love
think the only ones who discussed the matter, I think, was Marvel when they had the
mm-hmm,
cleanup
mm-hmm.
crew, especially in Spider-Man,
Yeah,
with
Spider-Man.
the Vulture. That was his whole thing. He was the cleanup guy. Like that was the first time I think ever seen like that side of it being brought
Yeah.
into effect.
Yeah, because
Like,
I remember, you'd watch the first like Hulk and
yeah,
the ones with the other guys, not our recent Hulk. What's his name?
Edward
Whatever
Norton,
his name is. Yeah,
second,
well,
second.
no, I'm talking about the recent one, but yeah,
Oh,
Edward
Mark
Norton
Ruffalo.
and Eric Bana. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, and those, he's just throwing your Chevy Impala
yeah,
into a building,
yeah,
and the building falls down, and you're
yeah,
like, we don't think about that,
yeah.
like we don't think about this. But yeah, to make the practical part of it and like highlight that part of it, I didn't expect it to be so funny and gross, pretty
Dude,
gross.
really gross.
They start
It's raining blood
Yeah.
everywhere.
Oh, dude. Mina comes in with that big old monster and like takes this huge cannon out and blasts it, and then it explodes into the sky with the most blood.
Yeah. Blood.
Like
They
it
just
was
say
a
it's
shower.
raining blood.
Yeah, it's raining blood on that whole place. I was like, oh my gosh, dude. I couldn't even imagine. I was trying to think about it. I was like, you know what? There was the other day, or a couple months ago, there was a dust storm in a city like way far away from our city.
Yeah.
And then it rained. So the dust storm moved from that city to our city. And then the rain brought it down. I woke up the next morning and my car was covered in mud.
But
And I was like, what the heck is this? Like, I just
just,
washed my car yesterday.
did somebody take my car dirt roading or mudding?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But like, could you imagine if you woke up and it was covered in blood?
Big
Oh
blood.
my
Oh,
gosh.
dude. That
What?
and the smells, like,
Yeah. Oh, the horror.
dude.
Dude, terrible. Nobody wants to be on dookie duty. Nobody wants to
No.
be on dookie duty.
That's the worst part to be a part of.
By the way, it's a great word. I'm glad. I don't know what it translates to in the sub because I didn't get the time to watch
Yeah.
it in the sub. But I'm like, do they find that funny too, right? That the word dookie
Yeah.
is hilarious. I don't know.
It's just one of those universal things that's just funny.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. The whole world thinks it's funny. Like, what did you say? What's that word? I love that it doesn't start with any exposition.
No,
You know how I feel about
just
that.
straight monster attack.
Yeah, they're there. There's like a little bit of like clamoring. I feel like you know what? There was a scene too where this monster is coming from the water and jumping out, and I'm like, I could have swore they're at that same train station I saw in a different anime. And I'm like, you know
Probably.
what? The more I watch
Yeah.
these animes, I'm like, oh, dude, like they're because I talked about it how they like actually use
Actual places and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I'm like, I'm starting to get to know this place. I'm
I
starting to
remember
get to
that
know.
place.
Like, hold on, wait a second. That's where Fire Force was
Yeah.
when they were holy kicking the crap out of somebody.
Uh,
I love the
but I do,
music too.
yeah, the music's dope. I do love how you could tell how long this has been going on with how like everybody
Oh,
else who's watching the news is just like nonchalant about it.
yeah, they're all
Like they're
like,
far enough
oh,
away and they're just like, oh, because there's a part where it's just two randos talking. They're like,
yeah,
oh, which division do you think's gonna show up? And like, oh, it's gonna be this division, the cool guys. And like, oh yeah, that's right. And like they're in this other part of the city, but they're just like
yeah.
still drinking coffee.
They're having
Yeah,
brunch.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're having
I
like
was
it's like it's been going on so long that it's just not a care in the world right now, which
I
is
wrote
like
this.
almost synonymous with how things are today because there's so much going on. And like the podcast I listen to, Ninjas and Butterflies, like they talk about
Mhm.
like crazy stuff going on and stuff like that. And I know they talked about like they had one episode where they talked about like what would you do, how would you react if you saw an alien and stuff like that. And it's just one of those things where it's just like how would people react to like would it be just since there's so much going on? Would there be just no reaction? It would be like, oh, it's just another Thursday. Like,
Well, it's a real thing though. I can't remember. There's a word for it, but like you just kind of become, numb
yeah,
or immune to like you could see something amazing. Like you could be
yeah,
like, around the world have the most beautiful view in your entire life, like on a cliff, and you go, man, this is amazing. Look at this
mm,
sunset. And then, by the third day, you be like, Big whoop,
Big
seen
whoop.
it.
It's just the sun. Ooh.
Yeah, yeah, it comes up every day.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it was coming. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's something
Yeah.
about it that you see it enough that you just
Yeah.
become like immune. There's the other thing too is that there's so many of these attacks all the time by the kaiju.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that's what they are. They're kaiju. These monsters are
Kaijus.
kaiju, right?
Yeah.
They have a light on their stoplight. Did you notice that?
Oh,
So
yeah,
there's
I
a
did.
there's a red light, there's a
Yeah.
yellow light,
You're like,
there's a green light, and there's
it's a
a
kaiju,
monster
like a
light. Yeah,
monster
so,
light.
like I was like, what do you do then? Am I stopping?
Am
Should
I
I drive
stopping?
faster?
Do
What
I go
is it?
reverse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I just leave my car
Yeah.
and then I don't know. That part is unclear, but yeah, the idea that they've like developed this world to, be ready for it and how everybody's just
Yeah.
like boring.
Boring. All
Well,
right.
actually, no, then it's not too boring for them because they're all like super excited
Yeah.
about it. Like, which division's going to be out there? Which division? Who's going to take this monster down? I'm like,
Like,
shouldn't she be concerned about
yeah.
falling buildings?
I know. It's like, oh, I gotta call into work. I gotta tell my boss, hey,
Yeah,
I
hey,
can't come into work. There's a monster in my way.
yeah, his guts are on my car.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like, that's not a valid excuse. We still need you to come in. What?
Yeah, hey. In some places,
Yeah.
yeah. I bet. I
Uh,
bet. I mean, like, it gets too cold where I live and we
yeah.
shut everything down. But it gets colder up north and
Yeah,
they're
they're
like,
like,
you're going
Big
to
Will,
work.
put on a jacket.
Yeah, yeah. Put on a coat. I know that you can get frostbite if your eyes touch the air, but
Yeah. I need somebody to put these fries in the fryer.
oh man. Oh dude, but go back to the music. Music's so cool. Like when they start in the what do we call them? The squad, the
Defense
third
force.
division.
Yeah,
Yeah,
third
yeah.
division.
They come in and that music's like getting down.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know what I equate it to. Oh, I think I wrote down this there's a crazy Casio keyboard. Remember the old Casios? Like the little
Yeah.
it's got the weird sound effects to it.
Yeah.
Somebody's got a Casio and they're going to town on it. The guy
Going to town.
he's all like whittle, whittle, with the weirdest setting. Not like a regular piano setting, like
the
the goofy setting that
the
nobody can
Goofy said,
use.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I
But
did.
it sounds so good though.
It was probably just his cat who got on top of his keyboard while he
Yeah,
was
it was just
recording.
like,
He's like, "What are you doing?" He's
yeah.
like, "Wait a minute, this sounds
Wait
good."
a second. You got something there.
Yes,
You got something there.
way to go, Whiskers.
Oh man. I love how also too in a lot of these animes, and it kind of works out too for them. Kafka.
Kafka.
Kafka has this childhood friend, Mina, who they both kind of promise. You know what? This is what I'm gathering. They have like little flashbacks here and there for in the middle of the show where he's like, they're kind of crying. They're looking at the monsters like from a valley or field or something like that, like onto the city, and like I guess something. What I'm gathering is something happened, and maybe like either friends or family, somebody was probably destroyed or killed by a monster, and they probably made a pact, or they did make a pact that they're going to become like part of this defense force.
Yeah,
But Kafka didn't. He just becomes part of the cleanup crew. But Mina, she
on
did
top
become,
of the world.
and she is one of the coolest, right? Like she is
Yeah,
actually, like everybody else is like, they're like
yeah,
doing a parade and they're walking and the
yeah,
whole team is behind her and she's like looking at nobody, but the rest of the team's like
yeah.
waving and like,
I'm trying to remember because I think they have billboards and stuff, and she's on the
mhm.
billboards. It's her.
Ah,
It's like
okay, yeah.
it's like yeah, she kept her end of the promise.
She actually did
Yeah,
become the coolest.
the
She did
coolest.
become the. She's on TV. She's got the ocarina of time
Oh yeah,
on her
on the
forehead. What is?
forehead. Yeah.
Does she have? Does she have a flute embedded? Do you see? She's got
Yeah, I
three.
saw that.
What is that?
I don't know.
It's not. It's not a hair clip. It's the same one she had when she was a
She was a
kid.
kid, yeah.
And either it's a hair clip, she can't remove the hair clip from her head, or either it's the ocarina of time. She can be played by like a flute up at the top
Like
of
a
her
flute.
forehead.
Boom.
Yeah.
Which dude, it's just like it's that thing of where like Nina's the MC type character who's like the coolest and powerful and stuff
Hmm.
like that. But
Yeah.
then Kafka's like he's the relatable guy because he's the guy
Yeah.
where we've all been felt like at that point where like I haven't got to I didn't accomplish what I set out to or what I made a
Yeah.
promise to. So I'm just like at this job because there's the new guy Ichikawa that shows up to their job
Hmm.
and he's all telling them like, hey, whatever, because the Chikawa says, "Oh, I'm gonna join the defense force," and they tell him like, "Oh, well, Kafka's been, trying to do it, but he hasn't." And Kafka's, giving the it's like, "Well, sometimes your dreams you don't get to accomplish," and then
Yeah,
Ichikawa's all like, "Well, that's not gonna be me. I'm not gonna stop until I do it. Even if like I'm gonna
yeah,
die trying doing it."
yeah.
And Kafka's all like, they're having a scene where he's all like, when they first meet, and he's all just like, "Okay, yeah, we'll do it." And he turns around, and he's all like, "I thought it was gonna be so cool when I was saying what I was gonna say," and he shut me down.
Yeah, and the Ichikawa keep like goes in on him. He's like, "Well,
Dude,
I'm not a
hard.
loser like you.
Yeah,
I'm no quitter like you are." I was like, "Dude,
yeah,
take it easy on the
yeah,
guy, man.
easy,
Like,
man. Y'all
you
just
barely
met.
met the dude. Yeah, yeah, you just met him." He's like, "I'm not a quitter or loser like you are, bro." And then Ichika and Kafka is just like, "Yeah, you're cool, bro."
Yeah, you're cool.
It's like, do you not take offense to anything that this man is saying to you? Do you have do you have any kind of a spine or
Dude, any
come
kind
on,
of
man?
self confidence? Come on.
And I don't know. So they haven't told us, but I've gathered also that it seems like because everybody else is kind of like, yeah, Kaka was actually like legit good, but then
Yeah,
it just didn't pan out. And I'm like, did he like? Are we gonna find out later? And you don't have to tell me, but I'd like to. I hope that we find out later that he couldn't do it because he didn't pass the written exam. Like there's a written exam. You know how
yeah,
you take a driver's license test, you got to drive, and then you also have to
yeah,
do the written exam. You could pass the driving test, but
yeah,
you can fail that written exam. So
yeah,
that's probably what it is. He can't like he can't read good like me.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Or you had a pencil like you where you couldn't write good.
Oh, dude, this thing will slow you down, dude. You will if it slowed me down. I wrote very sparse notes, and you know what else I did right though? I did get this in here. I just wrote in big letters just so I can read it. White tiger in an
White
apartment.
tiger,
White tiger in an apartment, Joe Angel. Okay, let that sink in. Like even if
get
you
that
had a
in
big
there.
house,
Yeah.
like, it didn't work out for Mike Tyson, okay? He had a
Okay.
tiger in his
Yeah.
house, like,
Which I thought who was gonna show up when that white tiger jumped out. I was like, oh wait, is Tyson
oh
gonna be in
snap,
this?
my
He's gonna be
he,
biting ears off monsters.
he could bite a whole monster. Mike Tyson, I mean, he's gonna bite what's his name here pretty soon.
Oh, Jake Paul.
Jake Paul, he better watch himself. He's on Mike Tyson's on that defense anti-kaiju defense team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he could stop him. He'll stop him. But I love that like how they kind of just show her Mina be like so cool. Like it's kind
Yeah.
of funny that she is almost like Kafka's, yeah, they're the exact opposite, but
Yeah.
he's relatable and she's just like has no feelings. Like if you're
No
gonna be
feelings.
that cool and like that popular, you have to be like an absolute robot.
Yeah. You gotta be.
Of course.
You gotta do the no look walking away
Yeah.
from the explosion.
She does. She didn't even look
Yeah.
around the crowd. And Kafka and they have like a walk. They pass by each other, like,
Yeah.
oh, there's something. They know each other, or there's like a knowing thing, but they don't look
Yeah.
at each other at all. They just kind of are like walking by each other. And she cannot be bothered. Though we know she's not a robot because, of course, she's in a bathtub. It's not completely. That's not completely fan service, or is
Like
it, Joe
that.
Angel? Not
I
completely.
wouldn't say no, because it's
Uh,
just she doesn't.
you know, I
Yeah, there's no
mean,
showing of like anything ridiculous,
anything. Yeah, yeah.
but
I
it's
mean,
just
she.
like her in the bathtub sitting, towel in the head,
Uh-huh,
and it
uh-huh,
looks like she's like touching a scar. That's what it looks like,
uh-huh.
and it's just like
Okay.
because she's also flashing back to the promise they made about because he
Uh-huh.
told her we're gonna stand next to each other, or Kafka's telling her as kids, I'm gonna be right there. We're gonna stand next to each other, stuff like that, and like she just says like liar, and it's just like in her mind, it's like he didn't
He,
keep up his end of their promise to be next to
he,
her.
yeah, like he failed her, but like he
Yeah,
did it like not on purpose, but she feels slighted by him. Like
yeah,
she's probably angry at him. Like I did this
yeah.
and you didn't.
Or like you didn't try hard enough.
Yeah, yeah. And then homeboy, like, okay, so they get attacked later on because Ichikawa and
Yeah,
them are like cleaning up, and there's like another monster comes out, and he
yeah,
tells Ichikawa to run away, and Kafka's like, I got this. I'm gonna fight this
yeah.
thing with a stop sign. I'm gonna hold up this stop sign and
So
go, no,
stop.
no, monster,
No,
don't
monster,
eat
no.
me.
Stop. This is school crossing. You gotta stop.
You listen to the signs. Listen to the signs.
I
And
saw the signs.
But they end up, short story, they end up in a hospital. Though I
Yeah.
guess Mina comes and saves them again, but they end up in a hospital because he breaks his leg, and they're just chilling
Yeah.
there. And somebody leaves the window open, and a huge mosquito comes
Dude,
in. The
biggest
biggest
mosquito
mosquito.
ever.
And the worst thing happens is it goes down his throat, and I'm like,
uh,
oh, just it's huge. It's like this, like what does it say though? It says something. It says
it says,
something.
"I finally found you." It's like, because kind of like sitting there looking at him, and it does like
Hmm.
this kind of like psychic effect or like
Yeah,
mind
yeah,
reading
like in
thing.
it, yeah, mind reading or
Yeah, and it goes, and it says, "I finally found you," and then proceeds to shove itself down his throat. Straight, just
and
like
yeah, I
Matrix
mean,
type stuff.
we
It
all
reminded
swat. We
me of the other one we watched.
Oh,
Parasite.
Parasite, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, I mean, there's numbers out there. I don't remember what it is, but it's
Yeah.
like I think 10 spiders. We swallow at least 10 spiders a
Oh,
year.
yeah.
You know, and I
Yeah,
swallowed a
and they
couple good like big bugs that I didn't want to, you know, you're just kind of like living life with the
living
windows
life.
open.
Yeah.
You know,
Window rolled
accidentally
down, driving down the road.
accidentally eat a bug, you know, like it happens.
You got a yawn,
But
bug flies
this
in your mouth.
no superpowers. And you
No
know what? I never
superpowers.
turned into a like a skeleton monster man, by the way.
Never.
He's transformed into this nasty looking like they had a great interaction. Him and Ichikawa was like, "Hey, you all right over there?" And he's choking on this
Yeah.
bug that's trying to go down
It's
his throat.
like, yeah, because they're having like kind of a serious moment where
Hmm.
Ichikawa is just talking to him like, "Hey, you are cool. You know, you were cool when you saved me. You are cool."
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
all like,
Because
"I really."
yeah, he went
He's
back
giving
on
them the
his whole
props.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But his when you turn into the monster, like it reminded me of Bleach with the hollows, like the way his mask
Yeah,
was and stuff.
You know, I thought so. He looked kind of familiar. I was like, it made me think of that one and something else. But he's like, it looks like it's just a uniform at first. Like at first, I'm like, oh, he's just
Yeah,
like he's got like this new like uniform or costume on. But I'm
yeah,
like, no, I think he's actually like the skeleton looking thing. Is
yeah.
he, all right, is he, because I only watched the first episode, is he Kaiju number 8? Is he number 8? Like, is he,
Yes, I would
okay,
say he's number 8.
okay, that's what I wondered. And I'm like, okay, so there's going to be some sort of, because it cuts, that's it. We see them,
Yeah,
they like see each other, and then an old man sees them from the hospital like hallway.
yeah.
He's like, what the heck? And the old man's like, ah.
And
And
immediately calls the cops.
yeah, immediately gonna have probably Division 3 descend upon him, and Min is gonna have to take care of Kafka because he's a straight up skeleton monster dude.
Yeah,
He's a kaiju now. So I don't know where we go from this, but it cuts out from there. And by the way, that song at the end, it's like Justin
bopping.
Bieber wrote a like a monster song. It's it's pretty good, dude.
It
Is
is.
that gonna be our opening song, or is that like the way they do
That's
it?
gonna be our ending song.
Oh, it'll say the ending song.
Yeah.
Okay. I liked it a lot, man. I was like, this is a straight up club
Oh yeah,
banger.
like as
Okay.
soon as
I
it
would
kicked in,
listen
I
to
was
it.
like, I got sent back to like mid 2010s, like club music. I was like, oh wait a minute, I'm
Yeah,
about to get on the dance floor real quick.
hold 'em up. Wait a
Hold them
minute.
up. Wait a minute.
Yeah, that club
It,
music though. It's a club music. It's a club banger from Justin Bieber himself singing
oh
about monsters, I think.
yeah,
Actually,
dude,
it's not about monsters. It's about like, what do they say in it? About like you and me and how like it was actually pretty vague actually.
yeah. It wasn't really like too much in there, but I do like, yeah, like I said, I do like the song. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Because the opening song we'll get in the next episode 2. That's when we'll get like the opening credit.
Okay. Okay.
But I do go back to the fight scene. I do like how like they showed Kafka kind of like getting it. So it's kind of like showing
Yeah.
Ichikawa like, oh wait, this guy is pretty, there might be
Yeah.
something about this guy. Like
Hmm.
he's just watching him like saving him, like doing all these like quick moves and stuff like that. And like, oh wait,
He didn't hesitate.
yeah, he's like, there's something to this guy to where I think that's probably what pushes him to the ending to like give him the props. Is just like seeing him in action and doing what he did during the fight. He's like, you know what, this he does have it and stuff like that. So Ichikawa becomes like that driving force for him to like hey, go follow your dream. Like
Yeah, you can
you
do
can
this.
do this. Like don't give up
Yeah.
just yet.
And you see flashes of it too, throughout the show too, when he's like just kind of he's like beloved and also like what's the word I'm looking for? He's assertive enough, like they
Yeah,
have him do some stuff and he's like, I don't want to be on intestine duty, but
yeah,
I'm gonna just do it, and he gets the work
dude.
done, and he's like,
Yeah,
he could tell he knows how to take care of things. Like
yeah,
he's like directing people, and like is kind of assertive and like confident, and he even like you even hear him talk to himself like, What I'm doing is like important,
yeah.
it
This
has
is
this
an
has to be
important
done.
part. Yeah,
So like he's got something, he's got all the attributes of somebody who could like who's
who can become something.
confident. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, confident enough to be somebody else or do something, or get back inside and enlist, because that's the conversation that they have in the end in the hospital. It's like,
yeah,
hey, I'm gonna give it a shot. Like I'm gonna get back out there because Ichikawa tells him that the age limit has moved up, so he
yeah.
still has a chance.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know where it goes from here, Joe Bangs, but I'm intrigued, to say the least.
intrigued.
I mean, just from the little snippets of the battle scenes too, I was like, I love the way this all looks. When Mina jumps up and she has that huge like cannon that she blasts through that first monster, I was like, oh,
It's so cool.
it's so cool. I was like, oh snap, she's like a straight up G.
Straight. She and it looked like she was wearing like a VR headset too.
Yeah, yeah, like some sort of like, yeah, she's like straight up from the future.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like living in 2020 and she's in like 2035, bro.
2035.
She's got that
That's
whistle
10 years
on
from
the
now.
Oh yeah, not very.
Not
Yeah,
very
not much
far.
has changed. Not much is going to change from now until then. We might have monsters walking the earth. That probably, and I won't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we have monsters walking the earth in 10 years.
In 10 years,
I'll
man.
probably be on cleanup duty too, by the way. My back can't handle like battle. You know what I'm
All
saying?
that
Like I
jumping
can't.
around.
Dude, it's too much jumping. Like they come flying down the side of a building and with nothing. Like they don't
Yeah.
have like. I mean, I guess
No
maybe the special.
parachute,
Yeah,
no
no parachute.
like like the lines or something.
No, no, no. There's no. I didn't see any like jets on them. They're just like
Yeah.
they just jump from a 20-story building down to the ground. I'm like, whoa, my
That's
knees
gonna be better in your
cannot.
knees in
Yeah,
a
oh,
few
dude,
years.
my knees can't take it. I can't even. Forget it.
Get it.
Put me on cleanup duty.
Oh man. But what I did get from this episode, go for the legs.
Gotta go for the legs.
Go
I
for the
think
legs. Star
it's
Wars
always the
move.
move. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You wrap up that AT. What is it called? What do they call that? The
The
AT.
AT-AT. Yeah, the
Yeah,
AT-AT.
and then it's coming down. I
It's
mean, that's
coming down.
easy.
Spider-Man
You're
did
too
it. He
tall.
used that.
I mean, it's what takes out all the really tall NBA players. I mean, their
Yeah.
knees give out. Forget it. They're no good anymore.
Just go for the legs.
Oh, snap. Joe Bangs, hit me
Yeah.
with some facts, bro.
All right, let's get into the history of this, guys, because this is fairly new, guys.
Ah,
Fairly new.
it felt new. It felt new.
Yeah. And of course, it started off with a manga, and it was written and illustrated by Naoya Matsumoto. They are the creator of Kaiju
Mhm.
#8. And they started this back in July of 2020, and it's still ongoing.
Pretty new.
Pretty new, guys, and it's also available on the Viz Manga app too, guys. So guys. If you want to read the manga, get ahead on some stuff because, like I said, the manga is usually going to be ahead. And if you don't feel like waiting for the second season or don't feel like waiting for the episodes to come out, just go over to Viz Manga and download it, and then you'll be able to catch up on the current stuff and be in the know, guys.
It's brilliant. It's a nice hack.
Nice hack, and it's kind of funny because this is like if this is how like popular it's getting, it's already got like two spin-offs mangas of it.
Really.
Yeah, one
Ah,
called Kaiju #8 B-Sides, and who was written by Masumoto, so it's written by the original creator, but
uh-huh.
the art is done by Keiji Ando. And oh, wait, hang on. All right, yeah. So it was written by Masumoto and Keiji Ando, and it was art was by Kentaro Hindu, and basically it's just like a set of side stories of the defense members.
So it's following a different set
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like,
It's
okay.
a set of characters that we'll come across and stuff like that. But that's what the B side is. It's following over that. And then there's another spinoff called Kaiju #8 Relax, which that focuses on just like the defense members' days off. It's like this is like a job for them. And Kaiju #8 Relax, it's just them on their days off. And that is set to come out in June of this year.
Like what? Are we gonna watch them? We're reading about them like
Yeah.
doing laundry.
Basically, type of stuff, doing laundry, going out, like just having a day off, not fighting monsters.
Interesting. I mean, is that a is that like a common thing? Are you gonna read that? Does that intrigue you? I mean,
Yeah,
I'm not hating. Okay, I'm not hating. I'm
hey,
just trying to think. I'm just trying to think if I want to watch that. You know, like,
okay. I
I
mean,
mean,
we had house way the house has been follow a cat around the neighborhood for
yeah,
a
okay. I
walk.
mean, you got me there. You got me
Yeah,
there.
but yeah, so
Is
that's what it's gonna be
he?
about, really.
So the original creator just writes more stuff, and then he gets some other production team to like flesh it out.
Yeah, that's
Is that
basically
what's?
like, well, at least with this one, it's like the creator had some more stuff. And because sometimes like they'll do it like either when they come out with the mangas volumes,
Hmm.
they'll have like little after like side stories and
They're
stuff
like
like
little
that in
sides.
there,
Okay.
or like when they're going through their releases and like the manga magazines, like this one, because this one was released on Shueisha's Jump Plus manga magazine.
Hmm.
And so sometimes in those they'll have like throughout, because it's a compilation of other mangas and stuff like that per a chapter a
Hmm.
piece, but they'll have like other stuff. Sometimes they'll have little panels or stuff like that thrown in of just
Yeah.
the characters doing random stuff. But this one's more like, hey, we're gonna do one. I'm gonna write some stuff about other characters, because sometimes they'll also have like popularity contests too. And so they'll have a contest of like they'll say, all right, Kaji #8, we're doing a contest to see who is everybody's favorite character. They'll have like a time window of people who can go and vote, and then at the
Uh-huh.
end they'll show like, all right, this is the most popular character from 1 to 10, and then because sometimes it's not the main character that's the most popular, sometimes it's like the side characters, the B character, other
Uh-huh.
characters that people attached to or like more than the other characters. And so sometimes they'll do like stuff around those characters, like, hey, we're gonna do a story where it just follows this person or stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. I guess that kind of makes sense, especially whenever you're like trying to flesh out a something this big and kind of like
Yeah,
have a universe. You got to think about all the other little side things, like all the
yeah,
little how the world. I mean, you can obviously tell like he thought about all the little things, like what would it be like if there were actual monsters that were roaming the earth, and we had to have a team of people. And like they have the
yeah,
stop signs are different. How are people going to react? Like
yeah,
what does a daily life look like? So you got to really do imagine,
yeah. I
what the
mean,
world would
that's
be
basically what.
like. Yeah.
Yeah, and that follows half of it. It's just like, okay, there's got to be a cleanup crew, because
Hmm. Yeah.
somebody's got to clean up all this mess, and somebody's
They
got
got to
to
have.
repair the buildings and all this stuff. I do like in the beginning that he's like talking about, because he's like looking at how big the monster is, and he
Hmm.
says a line. He says they expect us to clean this up in a week. And so
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
it's not the fact. It's like, okay, okay, so they have people. You have to have people to clean this up, but I guess you also have to have like a time window, like, hey, we need this done by this time, because
Yeah.
either another monster can come up, and or we have to make sure we get all these other businesses. If there's apartments, we got to make sure we get all this cleaned up so we could get those people back in their homes or back at their jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta imagine, like, I mean, I don't know if they set timelines for, like natural disasters, but it's kind of that same thing where you're like, it's all hands on deck if there's like a flood or
Yeah,
a hurricane or something like that, where you're just like, we want people to get back to their regular lives because, they're, the city in the town and the people there rely on, having jobs and,
yeah.
making ends meet and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense. I wonder I mean, you have to
Gotta
think
keep
about,
the wheel spinning, guys.
yeah, you got to keep the plates in the air, bro.
Yeah, gotta keep
Got to keep them spinning.
keep them spinning. And there's also a light novel too, and that light novel was written by Keita Ando, and the art was done by Masumoto, and that's called Kaiju #8 exclusive on the third division, and that's just like another 4 chapter side story of like the characters that we come across that we meet. And so
Hmm.
it's more like more side stuff, more backgrounds, more just random daily life stuff. That is came out in I got all these dates everywhere. Sorry. I was writing dates down like crazy. So that came out in November of 2022.
Okay.
All right.
Man, this.
And yeah. So that's all the written stuff, all the manga stuff. And
Hmm.
the anime, so the anime came out last month. It,
Really?
yep, premiered on April 13th, 2024.
Dang, dude, this is super brand new. That's crazy because I was just talking to somebody. I was like, they were asking, hey, what's y'all's next anime you're gonna do? And I was like, let me see, Kaiju #8, and they were like, oh yeah, I love that. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, so I guess it has a following and stuff. But I didn't
Yeah.
know that it was just like they made it sound as if like, oh yeah, like everybody's seen that already.
Yeah, like
Like
it's been
we've been
out,
watching.
But yeah, no, this came out literally last month. But and so it was animation was done by Production IG and Studio Karhara, who supervised the monster designs and artworks. And so
It looks super great. I really
yeah,
like the way it looks a lot, dude. Like, all the battle scene stuff, even the monsters are kind of wild looking, and it's really like we talk about this all the time, like the difference. I guess it's just more like a style choice, but like
yeah,
the way they kind of draw all these characters in here, they really like the movement. There's such great
yeah.
movement in this show, like the way the monsters are moving and the way the different
Oh yeah,
battle scenes. Like they just really like. I just there's a, I mean I go back to the very first battle scene when she comes out and she pulls out that huge cannon, like the way they kind of like draw that part of it. The cannon
yeah.
comes at first, and then it's like there's no cameras, but
And
they imagine the camera like moving from the cannon up to her face and stuff, and the
yeah,
way that it's just like it's so
uh,
cool looking. Like
so good. And
it's so good.
so okay. I do like to like even during the fight scenes like when the sun's going down like or when it's just Ishikawa and
Hmm.
Kafka like the lens
Yeah,
flares that they drew
yeah,
from the sun like, it's just like dude that's so cool because it's like all right like it's drawn like it's
hmm,
animated it's drawn we're drawing this but we're gonna make it to where like we're recording this with the actual camera as you would any
yeah,
other show and you're gonna
yeah.
get the lens flares effect like that part's so cool.
Yeah, it does a great job in like a kind of establishing a real world kind of, look to it, even though it's like wild and like impossible, but
Oh, okay. But yeah, and so that's when the anime came out. So the ending song was called Nobody, and that was by a band called One Republic.
wait, the One Republic?
One Republic.
I don't know if you know who One Republic is, Joe Bangles. But dude, that's oh my gosh, yes, I'm now I'm hearing it. Yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy. I know One Republic. I've listened to
Yeah.
their music. I was like, this is a club banger. Yeah, dude, no way. I gotta look this up. There's no way. I mean, I
It's
guess.
yeah. And so the opening is going to be called Abyss, and that is performed by Youngblood.
Young Blood. Joe Banks. You serious about these songs and these people? I mean,
Yep.
who's doing the voices? Is that Justin Bieber
Justin Bieber.
doing the voice? Is he? Who else is on this thing? I mean, you're gonna tell me that Nicki Minaj did the laser sounds.
Will I am
Will I Am is over
with
there
this flute.
like got Andre 3000 out there with
Andre
the
3000.
I mean, yeah, dude, that's legit cool. Like, that's I don't think we've come across any of because whenever you mention these bands, I'm usually like, oh yeah, like somebody I've never heard of, but they're doing good stuff.
Yeah,
But this is the first time I've heard like,
a band that you know.
yeah, an American band, by the way.
Yeah.
Both I think Young Blood is also I don't know where they're from, but that's wild. This needs to happen more often, dude. That song is killer. I mean, both of them.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much all that we
They
got
don't,
from her.
you know what? They got a video game. They've got to have a video game, Joe Banks. No video game. Okay, you know what? Here's the game. And I'll go ahead and pitch it to them. It's easy. It's just like a 2D game and you play Kafka and you're like all you're doing is just wiping the screen to clean up guts off of stuff. Like you could just how satisfying that would be. Just like
Yeah.
you're just cleaning things.
Video game
Get
wise, the only thing is that Kafka was a featured playable character on Captain Velvet Meteor the Jump Plus dimensions on the Switch. So Kafka was just like a playable character on a game. So as far as a game for itself,
So
haven't seen nothing yet, but they can.
I haven't. I mean, it's kind of ripe for
I mean,
a video
I've
game.
been the Arise game for Solo Leveling
Uh-huh.
just came out. I've been playing that. That's been pretty cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, yeah. I saw the ads for it, but I hadn't
yeah.
checked it out yet. Is that on all kinds of systems?
I know it's on iOS and I think it's on PC. So it's like a mobile slash PC game, I think.
Okay. How many episodes does this show have?
So right now we have a total of see 5 episodes as of right
Dude,
now.
that so it's super. Yeah, it's super new.
Which I think by the time this comes out, it's gonna be probably 6.
I watched it in the dub, and I guess
Which
it.
I was surprised at how quick the dub was done.
I was just about to say because if
Yeah.
there's only 5 episodes, which means that I'm guessing what the next two or the first three are probably all dubbed, and like the last two.
Actually, all 5 are dubbed right now.
Really? What?
Yeah.
Okay, now this is somebody's figuring something out.
Somebody's been listening to Sal talk about he wants
Yeah,
dubs.
I mean, I'm telling you, like, dude, you know what Sal is. Maybe I'm making influence on it. You know, like
Yeah.
I talk about how much I love these club bangers,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna go and get One Republic
Yeah.
to do all their songs, and then get them to dub it immediately.
Immediately.
That's crazy because, well, I mean, maybe I feel like maybe I've watched like one Netflix original anime, which I won't say the name of it because we don't want to bash it, but it was pretty dang terrible. But they did have both the sub and the dub like immediately. And then I'm watching one on HBO Max, which they call them Max. Mama call them HBO Max. I call it Max.
Max.
There's an anime on there that like they drop it and it's both sub and dub at the same time. It's like they won't release it without the other.
Without the other.
I mean, it kind of makes a little bit of sense,
Which I think this is part
maybe.
of like the pre-production stuff. I think
Mm-hmm.
since it's getting to that point to where a lot of anime is coming to America,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Yeah.
so I think especially with streaming, so I think they're getting to that point where hey, as we're producing this and making it, while we're recording the Japanese, let's go ahead and record the audio versions,
I mean,
the English dubs of it, because like I said, they'll have different companies have a Japan base and a US base where they could do the dubs. So I think it's getting to that point to where, like, as it's in production, they're like, "Hey, here's the script for the English, here's the script for Japanese
mm-hmm.
and Spanish, whatever other languages they're doing, and we're gonna dub it all in one go. That way, when we release it, everybody can watch it in the language they need to."
I mean, it just does sound like the most effective, efficient way to get to get a following. Like you're
Yeah,
gonna like have everybody like just jump on it and be able to talk about it to anybody because you've seen all the episodes in your language. I mean, it kind of makes a little sense to me, but I mean, we're still gonna have to deal with that whole mouse flap problem, Japanese. You know what I'm saying? The old mouse
yeah,
flap.
yo, mouth.
I never forgot about that. We just brushed by the fact that you said mouse flap a
Yeah,
couple episodes ago, and I'm like, mouse flap, bro? Really,
mouth
dude?
flap.
You ain't lying though.
I think once you notice it, you'll never stop noticing it.
Line the mouse flap up, AI.
It's like when you get a car and then you start seeing your car everywhere.
Yeah, the same color.
Yeah,
Or yeah, you notice a tree and someone tells you what that
yeah.
tree is, and then now all you can do is see that tree.
Oh, you do see that tree. It's everywhere.
All right. Well, I
Oh,
tell you
right.
what I will want to see is
Go
more of
for it.
this show.
More of this show. Well, let's get into that guac talk.
Which, by the way, guac talk update. I went to a
Update.
store. I went to go pick up some guacamole Takis. They're all gone.
Oh,
Okay, now I will disclaimer. I think I've said this before. They used to be amazing, and then they discontinued them. I went to Reddit, did a search, and I was like, "Hey, what happened to guacamole Takis?" Nobody's talking about it. There was
no, it's a
so
conspiracy, man.
I created a thread. And then next thing you know, months later, they come out with a new guacamole Takis.
They saw
Not
the
as,
thread, man. They're like, "Oh, this guy's
yeah,
asking for it."
but it's not as good though. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
as
good.
good. I still eat them because, my nostalgia and I'm very loyal. Then I went to the store and they're gone again. I'm like, okay, they discontinued them because I told them that the recipe
Yeah.
wasn't as good.
They brought it back again, and you just
Bring it back
threw
again.
it in their
Go,
face.
yes, bring back the old recipe that we all loved. Anyway, let's guac talk this. We're not talking about chips. We're talking about this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I from the beginning, from the get-go to the end, like this show is super fun, you know. I don't know, I like the music. I liked like they really for real, like there was a really like interesting, crazy Casio music. Some of the like the when they're running away from that monster, the second monster that comes by, there's like some
Yeah.
crazy music going on in the background. They're like really swinging for the fences on some of this stuff. Like it's like experimental kind of sounds going on that I'm like, oh, they're like taking risks. It's a very interesting concept. You know how I feel about these concepts on these shows. It's very conceptually, I love it, the different side of it. I love all that kind of stuff, the interactions. Kafka is a lovable character already. He's very relatable and like a sweetheart, but also, they really, I'm intrigued because they've left enough up there in the air where you go, I don't know where this goes, but I'm here for it. So, one out of five kaijus, how many am I blasting with a cannon?
How many are you taking out?
At least 10, past five, okay? I mean,
Fast Five.
I must kill all these monsters so I could watch this show. I'm watching it, especially because there's only 5 episodes, and
Only
I can
five.
be in on the jump, like I could
Yeah.
be in now, and
Only
I don't
five.
think,
They're all dubbed.
and they're all dubbed. This will be the first time that I watched an anime where I could go, all right, next episode, I'll wait the next week to watch that one
Yeah.
too, because usually like. I kind of wait for them to kind of store up and then wait for them to like drop the dub too, so that I
Yeah.
can catch up to it. Cause you know how I'm
Yeah.
dub only, bro.
The,
Nothing's changed, Joe Angel. I'm still not learning.
uh,
What have you watched all of this?
yeah, I caught up this morning.
Okay. Okay. So, what do you think? Am I off base on saying how good this is? Does it get better even?
It gets good. It gets crazy. It gets
Okay.
like
A little weird?
not too weird, but it gets a little
Okay.
more hypey. It's like, all
Okay.
right, now we're getting somewhere.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Getting
Mm-hmm.
somewhere. Before we go, what was a deciding factor for you to say, yes, I'm gonna watch this show?
Deciding factor.
Or what
Maybe
was
that
one
white
thing that
tiger,
like
bro.
the white tiger?
Who are you to say?
I was like that, or what caught your attention? What made you say yes to the show?
Hmm. What was it about this show that kind of like drug me in? I think it's just the his arc, you know?
Yeah,
I'm interested to see him go from like it was a turn. I think it was the fact that at the very end he turns into a kaiju. I think that's what got me. Like because I was enjoying the show all the way up until that reveal where
that
you
moment.
go,
Yeah,
yeah, that moment I'm like, okay, now I gotta know, you know? So I was already enjoying it up until that point, but then that part kind of got me to where I'm like, well, I got to see what happens. It kind of
yeah,
reminds me of Solo Leveling with the same thing where you go,
yeah.
our main character died, so I gotta find,
I gotta find
I
out
gotta find out. Like
was
this
he
is,
the main character at all?
yeah, exactly. So like this thing too is like, well, then is he gonna turn back? And I have so many questions that they need to be answered, and I think that's what they've done really well here is that they've introduced enough things that you just go, well, I've got so many questions and they're all unanswered, and I've got to get to the next episode to kind of figure that out. So they've done that very successfully for me.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there
Mm-hmm.
you got it, guys. That's our ranking. That's our episode. That's Kaiju number 8. And as always, make sure to drop a comment, leave a like, hit the share button, and hit those 5 stars on this podcast so
Five
that we
stars.
can continue to grow, guys. Get us there.
Five
Get
stars.
us to
Yeah.
Japan so we could go see where this monster jumped out this lake.
There's that place is there. Okay, I saw it on Fire Force. It's
It's
also
there,
on this show.
guys.
It's a
Take us
real place.
there.
I must confirm that it is real with my own eyes.
Confirm it's real. And you know what? Confirm that this episode is good with those 5 stars, guys. And as always, drop a comment. Let us know what you thought about Kaiju number 8 so far. If it's dragging you in, if it's leaving you in, I'm not really into it. Let us know in those comments. Also, let us know if there's anime you want us to watch and say, hey guys, check out this or check out this movie. Let us know because we're always looking for shows. We're always looking for movies. And we always are looking for more followers to help grow this community, and also share this with your friends who you're trying to get into anime. This is episode 40, guys. Oh my gosh, we are 40 episodes in, and it's crazy.
Yo, that's like old school, like TV show.
old school TV show,
seasons.
guys.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
We're about to get syndicated, guys.
yeah. Help us get there.
Help us get there, guys. And the only way to get there is hitting those like buttons and those 5 stars. And as always, that is Anime Me Pod. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you on the next one. Laters.
Peace.
I saw myself in the mirror with a sad look. Then I saw him run screaming. It smiled back at me.